Mr. Vance, you mentioned the issue of the harm to victims' rights when a crime of which they are the victim goes unprosecuted and they don't get justice. Is there not also an even more dire situation here in a hostage situation, in a kidnap situation, in a trafficking situation, in a terrorist situation, in which there is actually the prospect of harm and loss of life to individuals as a result of law enforcement's inability to penetrate these devices?
Absolutely, and Senator Feinstein alluded to San Bernardino. I alluded to Dayton and the other recent terrorist attack in southern United States, where the full information of who those individuals were and who they were communicating to is still not known to federal law enforcement or state law enforcement. So, yes.
And by traditional legal causation standards of but-for causation, the potential loss of life in a situation of the type I've described could be attributable to these companies' encryption.
Yes, absolutely. There are urgent...
So
yes.
Let me ask the two companies who are here. You've both indicated that you believe, that your companies believe, I should say, that there's more good than harm that comes from the manner in which you have encrypted your products and services, correct?
Correct, Senator.
So you concede that there is harm, correct?
I concede that there are trade-offs and that there are challenges to law enforcement. And of course, my heart goes out to the victims of any...
Well, I'm not so interested in your heart, actually, because you have a business model that allows you to make a lot of money out of the good that comes from encryption. You market the good that comes from encryption. My question to you is, are you also willing to be liable for the bad things that happen? If indeed, as a result of Apple's encryption of a device, someone dies, are you willing to accept liability for that death?
Senator, as a software engineer, my focus is on trying to provide the strongest security for all of our users and protect them in all cases.
Let me make that a question for the record then. See if you can get me an answer on that.
Certainly, Senator. We'll get back to you.
Because to me, it's bad enough when the case here is that there's good and there's bad, and we're going to make money off the good, and we're going to accept liability for the bad, even though there's real harm to law enforcement and to other principles and interests involved. That's not great. But it's really bad if what you're saying is our companies, Apple and Facebook, are going to make money off of encrypting our products and services, but when the harm comes to pass, we want protection from that. We don't want to own that. That's somebody else's responsibility. That is, as Professor Tait described it, an externality whose consequences we would like to dodge. Where I come from, that's not only morally wrong, that's economically wrong. So if there is one thing that I think we should take away from all of this, it's if you're going to go down this road of unbreachable encryption that you recognize will cause both harm and good, you have to be willing to own up and take responsibility for the harm. Thanks.